All right, today we're doing a deep dive into the philosophy behind the Centers for Spiritual Living, something called the science of mind. We're going to break down their official declaration of principles to really get our heads around a belief system that has been incredibly powerful for so many people. So let's get right into it.
Everything, and I mean everything we're about to talk about, really comes down to this one single question. What if your thoughts, the things you believe, the ideas you accept as true, what if they aren't just reactions to your world? What if they're actively creating it? Now, this isn't just some fun hypothetical. It is the absolute foundation of this entire philosophy.
So, what exactly is the science of mind? Well, it's not presented as a religion with dogma and rules. It's really framed as a philosophy for living. Think of it as a way to understand life that's based on principles believed to be just as reliable and consistent as, say, the law of gravity. At its heart, this whole philosophy is a study of what it calls first cause. That's the invisible, intelligent, creative something, the source of everything that is. You can think of it as the ultimate power behind all of creation, the actual substance and mind that everything, seen and unseen, comes from. It's really about getting to the very root of reality itself.
Now, if you only take one thing away from this, let it be this next concept. Everything in the science of mind, every single idea, flows from one foundational principle: oneness. If you can grasp this, it's like the key that unlocks everything else.
So what is oneness? It's the principle that there is really only one thing happening in the entire universe. One life, one mind, one spirit. This isn't some God that's separate from us looking down on creation. No, the idea is that this one reality is creation. And if you think about what that means, it implies that everything you see, the trees, the stars, your neighbor, even you, is a direct expression of this single undivided reality. That feeling of being separate, according to this, that's just an illusion.
The founder, Ernest Holmes, he put it perfectly. Just because we see a world with tons of different things doesn't mean oneness isn't true. It just means all that diversity exists within the one. I love the analogy of the ocean, right? You see millions of individual, unique waves, but it's all still just one ocean. Okay, so if everything is one, and if we're part of that one, then the big question is, how do we interact with it? This is where the philosophy stops being abstract and gets incredibly personal and practical. It says there's a mechanism, a universal process that connects our own minds to this huge, unified reality. And that mechanism is called the law. Just think of it as the creative medium of the universe, kind of like fertile soil. And it's totally impartial. It doesn't judge your thoughts as good or bad. It just takes the impress, you can think of it like a mold, of whatever you're thinking and believing, and it creates your reality based on that. It's basically a universal yes machine.
There's a super simple analogy to understand this whole creative process. Your thought, or your desire, that's the seed. You take that seed and you plant it in the fertile soil, which is the universal law. And the law, just by its very nature, goes to work to grow that seed into a real, tangible result in your life. That's the plant.
So how does all this, the idea of oneness and a responsive universal law, build into a formal set of beliefs? Well, when you put those two ideas together, a very specific worldview emerges. And this is the core of what the Centers for Spiritual Living officially declare.
And this is the declaration itself. I mean, what you're seeing here is a pretty radical statement of personal empowerment. It says that truth isn't something you get from someone else. It's revealed directly to you. It says the universe is fundamentally good. And look at this. It says that the power of mind can tangibly heal our bodies and control our conditions. It all builds up to this final profound idea, that our very life is an expression of the divine.
Okay, so we have the philosophy and we have this declaration of beliefs, but what do you do with it? How does it actually translate into action in your everyday life? This is where we get to their number one spiritual practice.
Their main tool is called spiritual mind treatment. And let me be clear, this is a very specific, structured form of affirmative prayer. We're not talking about begging or pleading with some distant God. Not at all. It's a focused mental and spiritual process, and it's designed to align your thinking with what you want to create, consciously planting that new seed into the law.
The process itself has 5 clear steps. You start with recognition, just acknowledging that one power, that one presence. Then you move to unification, realizing you're a part of it, you're one with it. Now, step 3, realization, this is the pivotal one. This is where you state your desire not as something you hope for, but as something that is already true right now. You follow that with thanksgiving, really feeling the gratitude for it.
And finally, and honestly, this is often the hardest part, you release it. You just let it go and trust the process to do its thing.
So you can see, the ultimate goal isn't just to use a technique every once in a while. It's really about transforming your entire way of being. It's about learning to live a life that is consistently, day in and day out, aligned with these core principles.
And the ultimate aim is to live with integrity. This means creating a life where what you believe deep down, what you're thinking, the words you're speaking, and the actions you're taking are all in perfect alignment. They're all congruent. It's about making your inner world and your outer life a perfect match.
And that really brings us to the central promise of this entire philosophy. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a creative being. You have been given this incredible gift, the power to literally change your life by changing your thinking.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to really chew on. If this philosophy is true, if you really are a direct, individualized expression of a creative, intelligent, and loving universe, what does that mean for you, right here, right now? What masterpiece is just waiting to be expressed through you? What are you truly here to create?